Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly men's volleyball press conference. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from head coach Ellen Knipe, then we'll open it up to questions from the media.
Awesome. Yeah, this is a week for us. It's going into this week. It's an unplanned bye week. We had a match scheduled, and unfortunately, it's now a bye week. But it kind of comes at a time where we've been pretty dinged up for the last couple of weeks, and the guys. Hopefully this will give us some time to get fully healthy or get as healthy as we possibly can, and also work on quite a few things that we just haven't had a whole lot of time in the last couple of weeks to work on. But excited for a lot of guys to get a chance in the gym this week that maybe haven't had a lot of times interacting with maybe the first guys a little bit more. But recapping a little bit of the last weekend, I thought there was a lot of good. I thought offensively we were really good both nights. I don't think we passed the ball particularly great the first night. I thought we passed significantly better the second night. But either way, we still hit a very big number. I thought that's something we've been working on in practice. Obviously, everybody was involved. Front row, back row, right side, left side, in the middle attack. So that was good for us, and that stayed consistent in all 6 sets. And I think we ended up hitting close to, above 450 probably combined for all 6 sets. So that's a nice number. But I think the week is exciting for us because we don't get this opportunity very often. So we want to make the most of it as coaches of how can we get our guys healthy at the same time. Not lose some of the things we have going, and then build some of the things that we would like to work on with some of the guys who've been playing a lot, but also add in a few new pieces that we feel like we have in the gym that we just haven't had a chance to use in matches. So it should be an exciting week.
What's the mentality like for the team this week with not having a match after having played the last 7 weeks, including up in Canada?
Yeah. Well, we talked about this over the weekend, and we talked about we'll lead up into a competition Friday, so we'll still prep for the week. We'll still prep for our opponent like we normally do, and we'll still do a lot of things to keep them in rhythm. Then we'll get to a competition Friday, and then we'll have a normal week next week. But I think that the guys, if we had a match this week, the guys would have been fine, and they just would have been 100% of whatever they are. But we don't have a match, so we're able to do a few things for a couple of days with some guys who can definitely use, it's a little extra rehab and a little downtime. And it's not that they won't be in the gym doing things, but we can certainly monitor swings and jumps at this time of the year and get back at it again after the weekend and get ready for a real good Ball State team here on Saturday.
Coach, an opportunity that we have doing this on Tuesday today is that we get the announcement that Simon Torwick got a Big West Defensive Player of the Week for the second week this year. Mm-hmm. Anything that you've seen that you can describe to us, like any small detail that you've seen in his development that has helped him become the best blocker in the nation statistically right now?
Well, Simon has so many physical attributes that help him, and he's an incredibly high volleyball IQ player for us. But he predominantly has played on the right side his whole life. So, and then when we threw him in there last year, it was kind of out of, we needed to because of health with our middles, and he kind of just did it. He's had now some matches last year under his belt. He had a full fall training, watching lots of video, breaking things down. And as I like to say all the time, that when you switch positions is very similar to kind of as you grow up through your college career, meaning from your freshman to maybe your sophomore-ish year to into your junior, senior year, is that it's kind of like a remote control. So when you first get to college to play volleyball, it feels like everything's on fast forward. So for Simon, as he switches positions, everything feels like it's on fast forward. As you continue to get more reps, you get some success, you watch video, you slow it down, get some training, get some success, get some training, watch some video, you start to get to the point that remote control feels like it's on play. And but when it really starts to get good is when it feels like it could be on slow motion, where you're reading the game at slow motion, you're seeing things, there's not that anxiety or panic or stress. You've seen enough reps, you've watched enough video, you're comfortable in your movements. And I just feel like for him, he's somewhere between, he's definitely in play mode now instead of fast forward. We're hoping to get him to slow motion. And he was working really hard to do that because I think that there's a tremendous amount of meat left on the bone for him as a middle blocker.
Really big improvement this weekend as opposed to against UCLA, but really you were talking about how the last UCLA game, you thought they bounced back pretty well from the first one. How do you think there was a big switch, or is it just they were able to reset and play NJIT the way they should?
Yeah, I think that if you take out the first match, the prior week, we had a great mentality the second night. We didn't execute in some areas where we would like to, and we'd like a point here or there back, and that changes that match. But what I liked was the mindset of how they came into practice the next week and wanted to continue that feel, right, and that intent. And I think I saw that. There's certainly areas. Look, as we sit here in the end of February, I hope we're nowhere close to the team we can be by the end of the year. But we also have to identify things that we're doing well. We have to reinforce the good. So there is a lot of good things happening. But I just think for this team and the staff, we feel like we watch video each week, and we just feel like there's a lot of areas, and we can't cover all of them within 2 real jumping days of the week. So you have to prioritize. So we have a long list of things that we would like to continue to get in by the end of the year, and we have the needs of this week, and that's kind of where we're at. But yeah, I was encouraged with the way we came out, particularly night one against NJIT. I was really impressed with the we're gonna come out and we're gonna cause stress in every area of the game, and that's something our guys are capable of doing. And we're looking towards doing that for the rest of the year. And if a team handles that stress really well and it turns into a great match, well, then that's college volleyball.
Was there any concern? There were some stretches during at least the second night when we were broadcasting that there were some service errors going back and forth.
Yep.
Any concern there?
Well, I mean, concern in the moment, yeah, you don't like to give away free points like that. But, if the people that have followed our program now for 5-10 years know that it's not something we want. All right. However, we simply can't just put the ball in play, or you have a situation like we definitely didn't serve very well at UCLA, even though we didn't miss very many at UCLA, and we just didn't put any pressure on them at all. So there is a balance, there's no doubt, and we're trying to find that. You also got some guys that haven't been practicing a ton, which means you're limiting their jumps a lot, which means what's one of the first things to go, then they're serving, meaning we just can't use a lot of reps on that right now. So we were dealing with that. We did make a few adjustments. Obviously, Simon served with his jump serve and his jump float. So we're looking to expand our serving weapons that each guy has, so if we are having individually a rough night serving, that we can be a little bit more flexible on it. But we do know, when I go back to what I was saying about people who follow the program, we do know to win the matches that you want to win to get late into the season, you're going to have to hit your serve well, hit it hard, and hit it in often. So it's easier said than done. So you have to go through some of the learning curve, as hard as it is for everyone, including the players, staff, and I'm sure fans, to watch at times. But it is a process, and we are aware of it, and we work on it all the time. And I think we're no different than lots of teams, and we're definitely no different than many of the teams we've had in the last 5 to 10 years.
Not just Simon Torrey is leading the nation in blocking, but you as a team have been doing well blocking defense-wise. I know you talked about how great the middles have been and how deep you are there.
Yep.
How great has it been on the outsides, the pin blockers being able to set it up, because we saw a couple of good solo blocks by pin blockers as well.
Oh, absolutely. I think that your pin blockers, their ability to help you, whether it be from the right or the left, or just create an opportunity that a middle doesn't feel stressed both ways all the time, is a big deal. So their ability to help is one thing. The second one is making sure that we understand what kind of set we're trying to block. Is it super fast? Is it high? Is it a busted play all the way out? And as we've been able to figure out, being more comfortable identifying what blocking system we're in based off of what situation the team's in setting against us, we've got our right and left side blockers in significantly better blocking positions and better hand positions to allow our middles to close, and then they end up getting a lot more blocks that way because they don't have to be worried about everything. So yeah, our wing blockers discipline and recognition of what's going on leads to more blocks for our middle blockers. So yeah, it's a system, and we need each other.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.